Hey gang, today we're going to do something a little bit different. Now I'm sure you've all seen those internet ads where they tell you play an amazing guitar solo with only 4 notes. But we're going to do that 3 better. We're just going to use 1 note and we're going to play a guitar solo. Now the idea here is really it's more of a practice routine than it is a hey, let me get up on stage and do this. Although you could do it for that. It's mostly a practice routine. And the reason why it's helpful is that it gets you to think of things other than what licks do I play, what scales do I play in, and it develops a sense of other things that you can use to get musical motifs from. So for example, it can help you focus on rhythm. What sort of rhythmic ideas do I have available to me? It can help you focus on articulation. You know, how do I pick? Do I pick loud? Do I pick soft? Do I do a downstroke, upstroke, maybe a pinch harmonic? It can help me focus on things like other articulation devices like vibrato or slides or bends. And then finally, it can really help you develop your ear so that you can approach changes in sort of a scale-free way, which is actually very helpful. So let's do a couple of examples. We're going to do a simple one. We'll do a G minor blues, which is just a very straight, simple chords. And then we'll do something a little more complicated. We'll do a G jazz blues, and we'll demonstrate that even over a fairly complicated chord structure, at least for those of us who grew up on rock and roll, it's a fairly complicated chord structure. You can put together something that sounds pretty good and kind of come up with ideas that sound really good without knowing what scales, because you'll understand the chord changes, you'll hear them better. All right, well, let's check it out. Okay, first we're going to do this minor blues, and the first thing I want to do is just play very straight so I can soak in the timbre of notes. So I'm going to play G. This is a G minor blues, so I'm going to play a G note on the first string, on the second string, and on the third string. It'll be the same note, and I'm constraining myself to doing that. So I just want to basically soak in how each of these sound, and then we'll start adding some effects. So here we go. Straight first. Start adding some things. Okay, maybe some rhythm now. Okay, so you can see it's kind of a struggle to play something that's musically interesting and kind of grow it into something, but you're probing different things that you can try, different motifs, like different timings. You saw me try and do some bends there. Some of them worked, some of them didn't. Some slides, and definitely some, I even used some pinch harmonics there. All right, so anyway, that's a simple one. Let's try a little more complicated one. Let's try a jazz blues now. So here's a jazz blues, and again we're going to play it straight in the beginning, and then we'll add some ideas. All right, so you see the same sort of ideas are happening there, but once you get doing that, you'll be amazed that no matter where you pick up, you'll be able to actually play in the key and play an interesting solo without even thinking about scales. Once you let yourself do that for enough, you'll find some really good notes. Just by focusing, making yourself focus on one note for a long time, it opens up your ear, I think, to a lot of good intervals. So let's try that just a little bit. Okay, so maybe it's not the most interesting jazz solo, but I was hitting some interesting notes there, and there's diminished chords in there, there's chords that are out of key, there's clearly some 2/5s that are moving around, and I'm just totally using my ear there. I'm not thinking any scales, any arpeggios, or anything. And what I think helped me a lot in doing that was starting out this idea of just the one-note scale, or the one-note guitar solo. So give it a whirl. I think it's a great way to maybe get some ideas in terms of good musical motifs, particularly rhythm, and can even open up your ear to lots of other possibilities. Well, I hope you enjoyed this one, gang, and leave your comments and questions below, and we'll see you on down the road.